Hey, how's everyone doing tonight? Welcome to a very special NXT Great American Bash edition of Plate Exchange. As been promised since the match was officially announced 2 weeks ago, tonight was the champion versus champion winner-take-all title match between NXT champion Adam Cole and NXT North American champion Keith Lee. Tonight it would be decided to where both would compete, with the winner taking home both championships. But who won? And that's what we're here to officially make, to make it official here on our belts here anyway. So for those of you who didn't see NXT, you want a chance to have an opportunity to be able to go see who won, now's the time to step away. Normally on Instagram you're not wanting to encourage followers to leave the chat, but in this particular instance, if you really want to see it, because it was a fantastic match tonight, I encourage you to step away, come back, watch the replay of this later. So at this point, you've got about another minute or so, because before we get to the official plate exchange for the winner, we do have one little piece of business to attend to, and that is for a previous plate exchange we did for another one of our NXT championships, the NXT Women's Championship. For those of you who watched a couple of weeks ago, we did a plate exchange to celebrate the new champion, Io Shirai. She was originally given a plate that had her name, and then underneath it said, "Lost in the Sky." They have updated her since then because she is taking on a face role with the company for the time being, so they have now put Genius of the Sky, and luckily they have been so kind as to provide us with alternate versions, so we wanted to go ahead and present those. Since the plates have already been put on there, we're not making it a big deal in terms of, actually having a plate exchange, because we've already obviously exchanged them. But we wanted to show an opportunity to be able to show the new plates and the new updated ones that Io has been given. So again, congrats to the Genius of the Sky. She defends this championship against Tegan Nox next week on NXT. So a chance to potentially show what she can do against the local New Zealander, I suppose. But anyway, on to business. If you didn't want to know who won and you weren't sure or didn't know who won, you've had a chance to step away. So at this point, a fantastic match this evening to cap off the Great American Bash for NXT. Our new NXT champion is the Limitless Keith Lee, ending the reign of Adam Cole, ending it at 403 days, a absolutely remarkable run, of course untouched by anybody in NXT up to this point, the first person ever to become NXT champion for over a year. But it is Keith Lee retaining his North American Championship and also becoming the NXT champion at the same time. So therefore, the Keith Lee plates will be remaining on our North American title, and we now have plates to exchange for our NXT Championship. This will be the first time on Plate Exchange that we'll be exchanging these. The advantage, again, of having a person who held the title for over 400 plus days, and it means a second set of Keith Lee plates will now be making their debut on the NXT Championship for the first time. So, along the way, we actually ended up seeing the match live where Adam Cole won the championship from Johnny Gargano, in what ended up being the first of an amazing set of matches between Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole over time. Of course, they had one previous, the 3 Stages of Hell match that ended up coming up later on, and then of course we've seen Adam Cole defend against the likes of Tommaso Ciampa. We've seen him of course battling those amazing War Games matches with the rest of the Undisputed Era. He's taken on Dexter Lumis lately. It seems like every challenge that Adam Cole has that's been put in front of him, he's found a way to be able to get things done. But coming up just a little bit short tonight, his reign ending at 403 days. So unfortunately, that means, Mr. Cole, you are done as our champion for the time being. And it's time to crown our new champion officially on our belts. Kia, who, as always, is working our camera this evening, feel free to say hello to the crowd.
Hello.
And Kia, your chance to kind of take the spotlight here while I get these plates on here. Your thoughts on Adam Cole's record-breaking title reign?
I mean, I've sat here and I told you off the camera, and as we're just watching the shows, he has been one of the most fighting champions with or without the Undisputed Era, but you have to commend him. He not only was working 3 shows at one time,
right,
but
Survivor Series, absolutely.
Exactly, but he was doing it and knowing that's a tall task to have Triple H call you at the last minute and say, I need you here, and then I'm going to need you here, and I need you to bring your title in. This is who you will be facing. So for me, I can give him congratulations, and, the moment that I heard the number of how long he held the title, I said, I know he's going to lose it at that point. I feel sorry for, our girl Savannah, and I feel sorry for, Landon, because they were both pulling for him, but
Landon did not take it well. I didn't see Savannah's reaction, but our oldest, Landon, who's 14, did not take Cole's loss tonight very well.
No. But, I'm happy, because I've been pulling for Keith Lee. I love Keith Lee and I love Mia Yim, and I said, Mia couldn't, get it done tonight. We're going to need Keith Lee to, step up and do it. And I was very excited. So, and I know one other person who probably is outside of myself or you would be Stephanie.
I know that they, really since you go back all the way to Survivor Series of last year, they certainly have been setting up Keith Lee to have an amazing run in NXT, whether it was as champion or not. The moment they put him in the ring with Roman Reigns at the end of that Survivor Series match, the tone was really set that Keith Lee was destined for big things. And then, of course, his great Royal Rumble run-in with Brock Lesnar and going toe-to-toe with the Beast and the WWE Champion at the time, just says a lot of exactly the confidence they have in him. Of course, letting him win the North American title in January, and now rewarding him not just with the North American title, but also getting the distinction of being NXT's first champion. So, let's go ahead and spin this over to make it official, as we now have Keith Lee plates officially on the NXT Championship, his first reign as champion. And then, of course, also, he is now also our North American champion. Of course, a little segue at the end of NXT tonight is Karrion Kross and Scarlett clearly watching from the production room up top of the Performance Center. So it's clear that Kross already has the new double champ in his sights. So we'll see how it turns out. But hey, new champs. First time we've gotten to change these plates officially to a new champion since we got it. So. Congratulations to Keith Lee, and also a hearty thank you and congratulations to Adam Cole. 403 days as champion. It's probably not going to get matched for quite some time, if ever. So congratulations to him. We know that there's only bigger things set in store for him, so congrats. So for those of you who joined us tonight, thank you very much for joining us here on Plate Exchange. We're here every week. Are we going to potentially see a Plate Exchange next week? We have... Of course, Io Shirai defending the Women's Championship against Tegan Nox. So we will see if perhaps another plate exchange will be coming soon. A shout-out real quick to Mania Club. As you can see, I've got the jersey on. They have been giving us some fantastic, Zoom interviews as of late. We end up speaking with Lady Jess, the referee, 2 weeks ago in what ended up being what was supposed to be about a 20 to 25 minute segment that ended up going over an hour. It ended up going into Monday Night Raw later that night. And also a big shout out to both Killian Dain and Nikki Cross for joining us in a fun chat on Tuesday of this week. Nikki, absolutely just everything you'd imagine she'd be and a whole lot more, and Killian also bringing a lot of humor and entertainment to it as well. We've enjoyed everything. Shout out especially to DeMario of Mania Club. If you guys don't follow him, it's a me DeMario on Instagram and on Twitter. Go follow him. He's a great guy. And if you haven't considered joining Mania Club, they do wonderful work for Connor's Cure. Take the time to look at what all we do. Fantastic events and a lot of inside stuff you can get in with WWE. So for those of you who took the time to join us tonight, thank you very much. A new dual champ in Keith Lee. And we'll catch you guys later on Friday for On the Ring Apron. Have a good night.